There's really nothing quite like watching a pathological narcissist lie about something, especially if you know beyond any shadow of a doubt that they're lying. Because if you weren't absolutely sure that they were lying, you would have to be sure that they're telling the truth, because they seem so convinced of what they're saying themselves. Which really begs the question, do narcissists believe their own lies? They sort of do, but they sort of don't. And I'm going to explain that in this video. Welcome to Looking Behind the Mirror, where we explore narcissism and take our lives back as we make sense out of nonsense. As a quick disclaimer, everything I say is based on my opinions and my personal experiences. I'm not a professional, and if you're really struggling, I encourage you to seek professional help. I am providing links below for you. Narcissists can be very convincing because they seem to believe their own lies, and they can really take this to a level that a normal person wouldn't take a lie. You know how you are when you're telling a lie, right? You know how you would behave. You know a certain level of discomfort, and you know that you have a certain level of shame, and you have certain lines you won't cross. And when you're watching a narcissist lie, you can't really relate to anything that you're seeing because they really seem to believe it. So much so that they will actually become angry. Not just angry, but enraged that you would dare question them. And that's really hard to reconcile, because what kind of person becomes infuriated at someone else for questioning them when they are absolutely lying? That's not something that a normal person does. And that can really cause us to question, do they actually believe their own lies? Another place we can see this is if you tend to binge watch true crime like me, you might become really amazed at some of the things that criminals will deny doing. Some of the stories I've seen are just jaw-dropping, where the evidence against a perpetrator is just ridiculous. It's just beyond reasonable doubt, beyond any question that this person has committed this crime, and yet they can sit there and adamantly deny it. And it's almost laughable if it wasn't so disturbing, and it really begs the question, they can't possibly think that anyone believes them. Therefore, do they actually believe it themselves? Are they delusional, or are they psychotic? Are they hallucinating things? Do they remember things incorrectly? What is going on in their heads? The way I understand it, narcissists are not psychotic unless they have a different disorder on top of pathological narcissism. They are not hallucinating anything, and there's nothing wrong with their memory. They can see and hear and remember things as they actually are. However, they are delusional. They interpret things incorrectly, and they interpret truth differently from the way that you interpret truth. Normal people respect objective reality. We respect objective facts, history. We recognize the importance of what has actually happened. Just because something is no longer happening doesn't mean that it doesn't still have relevance to us. And pathological narcissists do not think this way. There is actually a quote from Ted Bundy that I think illustrates this well. And forgive me, I don't have a source for this quote, but if you Google it, it's like all over the internet. And I don't know why, but I could not find where the quote came from. So if you know where this quote came from, I would love you forever if you could give me a source in the comments below. But either which way, the quote is, "Try to touch the past. Try to deal with the past. It's not real. It's just a dream." That's coming from the mind of a pathological narcissist who was, I'm sure, many other things. But that really captures the way that a narcissist views reality and views the past. So what is a lie to a narcissist if the past isn't really real? And the past is not something that can be touched. It is not something that exists now. So to a narcissist, it doesn't really matter anymore. And that's just one reason that narcissists don't feel guilt for things that they've done. Narcissists live in the present moment. They live right now, right here. If it's not right in front of their face, if it's not affecting them right this very minute, if it's not happening right now, and if they're not feeling the emotions that come with whatever they're experiencing, it might as well not exist. It has no importance, it has no relevance. Narcissists don't really understand why it's wrong to lie. It's not so much that they don't understand what a lie is, but they don't understand why the truth should be relevant. And we're talking about a narcissist. Narcissists have an inflated sense of self-importance, and this is pathological. This cannot be understated. They feel like the center of the universe, and they feel a sense of omnipotence and all-importantness. They feel so much like the center of the universe that they actually feel like they can dictate reality. So it's not that narcissists believe their lies. It's not that narcissists believe that what they're saying is what actually happened. It's that they believe that they can change the truth with their lies. They believe that if they lie about something enough, that lie should become the truth, and that lie should be more relevant than what actually happened, because they're the center of the universe. They dictate reality. Their feelings dictate reality. The universe around them and all existence is an extension of the narcissist, physically and psychologically. So if everything around them that is happening is an extension of them, if it's coming from them, or if it exists for them because of them, then to the narcissist, it's almost like the world is a dream that he or she is creating. So why shouldn't they be able to change the story? Why shouldn't they be able to tell you what happened based on what they would like to have happened? If what they actually did last week or last year is now going to cause an inconvenience to them, that truth no longer has any worth. It's not happening anymore, and they don't like that story. And they really feel and believe that they have some kind of right or power to change reality through telling you what happened. And if you don't believe them, they don't have this thought of, oh shoot, she's on to me. Oh shoot, I guess I'm not as smart as I thought I was. I'm not tricking these people. It's more of an indignation of, how dare you question what I'm saying? I have a right to tell you what happened. And if I tell you what happened, that's what happened. And I don't care what actually happened, because that doesn't matter anymore. I will tell you what happened, and you better believe me. And if you don't believe me, you're just being difficult. The truth is written in disappearing ink. It's constantly changing. It's flexible. It's not objective and solid and provable like real truth, like what we all perceive to be truth. And this can be tied to a narcissist's damaged object relations and sense of object permanence, which is a more complex psychological concept. But this is something that goes back to their childhood and a lack of development through childhood. They really don't understand how something that is no longer happening, that's no longer in front of their face, should have any relevance or exists at all anymore. Truth is fluid. Truth can change. Truth can be whatever they want it to be. And if they like one story today and they're talking to somebody else tomorrow and they like a different story tomorrow, then the truth will change again. And not to sound like a broken record, but this also ties into the concept of narcissists interpreting reality through their feelings. Feelings are facts, and whatever they feel is true, that's true. And when their mood changes, the truth changes. And that's more real to them. Not as real, but more real than objective reality. They are more concerned with what they feel is true, what should be true, or what could be true. So in addition to lying about things that they've done or things that they were present for, they can also lie about things that you're doing, things that you're feeling. They can tell you what they believe you've done and what they believe that you think and feel and what your intentions are. And these can be things that are completely made up, completely off base, and completely untrue. But you won't be able to convince them of the truth because they don't measure truth through objective reality, and they don't care what you have to say. They've already determined what the truth is based on how they feel and what they believe, because that is how they measure truth. For example, if they're accusing you of cheating on them and you have not done that and you never would, you can't convince them otherwise by telling them or trying to prove it to them. They already know that you've cheated on them because they feel like you have. And even if you haven't, they quote, know, they know that you would if you could. So it doesn't really matter if you actually have or not, because they know that you would. They know this with a conviction just as strong as knowledge, even though this belief is based on nothing, even though it could be completely untrue. If they feel like it's true, then to them it's true. And this, of course, can be extremely frustrating, but you have to understand that you're not speaking the same language and that they are going to feel just as frustrated with you. When you imagine how frustrating and infuriating it is to be talking to someone that maybe you have a videotape of them doing something, or you have solid, irrefutable evidence that something happened a certain way, and they insist on lying about it. And as upset as you get over that, and as frustrating as that is, this person is disordered. This person has a delusional sense of reality, and they're going to be just as angry, if not more angry with you, and upset with you and frustrated with you for not believing their version of reality. And now I agree that objective reality, I mean, that's just me. I think that what actually really happened is what we should all base our decisions on. But narcissists do not see it that way. They believe that what they believe, what they feel, and what they want to be true, and what should be true or what could be true is truth, is more important than your truth. Now, that doesn't go both ways. That doesn't mean that if someone lies to them, that they're going to give that a pass. You know, when someone lies to them about what's happened, they still aren't going to recognize objective reality, but they may base their sense of truth on objective reality in such a case, and they're going to be just as angry and infuriated and enraged at somebody that's lying to them, but they're just not going to interpret it the same way as when they're actually lying to you, because that's just what they do. I hope this helps you realize that you cannot reason with someone like this. You are not speaking the same language. You can't have a rational conversation with somebody that's in a defensive type position like this and that cannot think logically or have a rational conversation or line of communication with you. You can't have a reasonable, rational conversation with someone that interprets reality in a different way, especially when the reality in question is something that could make or break the relationship or something that you are going to impose consequences on them for. You are not defining truth the same way. So in a situation like this, in my opinion, it's best to just cut off contact and not deal with these types of people, and to understand that they know the truth of what they've done. No matter how many lies they tell, they know what they did. They just don't understand how important it is. They don't understand why you're making a big deal out of what actually happened. They don't understand why it should be relevant, and they feel personally attacked that you would keep hanging on to these annoying details that are just making life difficult for them now. You've got to remember that with a narcissist, it's all about them. Everything is always all about them. It's all about them. And if you're hanging on to something that happened last week or last month or last year that now only serves to make life difficult for them, you must only be doing that just to make life difficult for them. And that's how they're going to see it. And they're never going to change that kind of viewpoint if they're a pathological narcissist. And that's why it's really best to just not deal with these types of people, and certainly not to try to talk any kind of sense into them, because you're just wasting your time and wasting your energy. I hope this helps. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment below any ideas you have for me for future videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this video and you would like to see more like it in the future. Until next time, thanks. Bye.